Hey guys, we've got a little Egr tips and tricks video and a bit of a how not to do things here, because we like showing you the right and the wrong way to do things. So we've got Johnny here doing a Egr Clean on a 150 Prado, as you can see, 150 Prado. If you want to see how to do it the easiest way, watch our full detail Egr Clean video, right? That's on YouTube. Just search full detail Egr Clean. And what you'll find, one of the first steps is to remove this plastic shroud up here on top of the windscreen. You remove all these leaves. What I recommend, see, this is the information that comes in, and it's easy to get sidetracked, but all these leaf debris, if you're going to park under a tree, I would be cleaning them out daily. Sorry about that. Or find a garage or a carport to park in, because what happens, just like when it's on the garden, it rots away and the debris go down through those holes and they end up in parts of the vehicle, and it's going to cause rust, and later on for you or someone it can cause some water leaks and stuff like that. Now of course it's a Toyota, I could be wrong, it might never happen, but they can also get into your heater box and cause noises and problems with the fan, little burning smells if they get to a resistor and things like that. Now this is the hard way to get the Egr valve off, alright? See the fiddling and whatever. If you insist on leaving this plastic trim on, it's quite fiddly to get down there because you've got that plastic trim directly above. Now don't get me wrong, it's perfectly doable. A lot of people like to do it that way, and a lot of people have done that way, and I've done a few of them, and I've done it both ways, and maybe there's something wrong with me, but I definitely prefer to get that plastic trim out of the way. Then the other thing you may have in the way is, see the wiring, there's been some additional wiring added in along here that's zip tied along in front of the loom, and that can rub on the Egr valve a little bit as well, so be careful where you've got that routed, and you may wish to reroute that or move it out of the way while doing or before doing the job, so those wires are behind the main wiring loom so they're not in the way. I can see a total of 3 wires in there that are sort of a little bit in the way, causing some problems. Now one of the other things that's quite important is as well to remove this wiring loom on top of the valve cover and the cover over the valve cover. That allows you to get your hand in to get that upside down bolt. There's an upside down bolt. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you watch that full detail Egr Clean video, but it's down in underneath the Egr valve down here at this side, right? You kind of like can't really see it on this. Oh, you can, right, maybe about the middle of the picture, right? But watch the longer video for the detail. This is more of a tips and tricks, information, and just showing you. Do you know how many Ks this car's done? 120. About 120K. What your Egr valve looks like, right? That's what it's about, guys. Check that out, right? Now, do you feel like that's a good thing to be feeding into your vehicle, right? That's your decision to make, whether you like that or not, whether you want to put a solution in place, what the solution is. You can watch our videos. The information tells you what works. Things we know work. You know, kaon.com.au, check it out on eBay, Kaon 4x4. They've got that plate with a 7mm hole. We can tell you that thousands of people have used that solution for many years and it works really well. So we can tell you it definitely works. It's a quality component. Kaon's an awesome company. Go and get your plate there. Now, why do we want to pull this cover off? Some people go, why can't I just get into the bolt and leave the wiring loom there like this? Well, you can, and you will, but see those little wires on the injectors there? They're quite small wires, and it's really important that whether it's an injector replacement job or an Egr cleaning job, that you're not pulling on those wires. Now, let's take a look at the wires at the back two, number 3 and 4 injector. See they're sort of upwards like that. I don't know who's worked on it, if they've been pulled on, whatever the case may be, but to get in past that wiring loom there, to get your hand under there to get that bolt is going to be very difficult, almost impossible, without putting stress on those wires. So very important tech tip, please remove these grey clamps, the brown clamp here, there's another black one along there. Again, full detail Egr Clean video available on our YouTube. That's what it's called, full detail Egr Clean. So I'm not going to go through the steps of the Egr Clean here. It's just that important tip and showing you how dirty the Egr is at 120, and it's not going to be much different at 80 or 60. Now another important bit of information, there's a few people asking, Do I need an Egr Clean? Okay, so we've answered this question many times over the years, but I do understand there's a lot of new people that have come along. We've got new people following and subscribe, watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, turn that bell on. The bell's next to the word subscribe. That makes sure you get the alert. You get that email when the next video comes out, so you don't fall behind with the important information, right? So, who needs an Egr Clean? Do I need an Egr Clean? Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Do you need an Egr Clean? Probably not. You don't need one. You can leave it like that. You can leave, you can leave your engine eating its own exhaust gases, whatever, Does that sound like a good idea to you? Just leave it in there, leave it like that. You're not going to get the ultimate cleanliness, performance, cold, clean, filtered air from the airbox over there, through the intercooler and the turbo into there. You're going to get the dirty exhaust gases. So let's go into a little bit of the explanation for those people that don't quite understand it yet, how the Egr system works. Okay, so there's two separate systems that people get confused. One is the crankcase ventilation system, okay? That's where the engine, let's keep it simple, right? Crankcase, what are you talking about? The engine, the box the engine's in, if you like. This big thing here, that's the engine, right? The engine needs to be ventilated like your shower. I've explained it before. And that's what that tube at the top of the valve cover is there. And that vents not to the atmosphere, to the intake manifold, which has a small vacuum, even though it's less on a diesel. It has a small vacuum, so it actually works a bit more effectively, almost like an exhaust fan, to help the flow, because it's really important to have that ventilated well to keep the inside of your engine clean. In my opinion, you don't want to modify that. You don't want to have anything in the way that may reduce or restrict the flow, because it's going to compromise the cleanliness inside your engine. We've seen it, okay? Now, a completely separate system. So putting a catch can on that crankcase ventilation system has got nothing to do with reducing this Egr soot. See this soot in here? Now, where does the soot come from? It's exactly what it says, Egr, exhaust gas recirculation. So what happens is, they take an amount of your exhaust gases on this engine. There's a port that comes through the head, comes out here on this pipe here, into the Egr cooler. It goes through the Egr cooler because they're trying to cool it down. The most they can cool it down is by running it through coolant that's averaging at about 85, 86 degrees while the engine's running, driving down the road. And it goes through that cooler. Remember, it's coming in, exhaust gases through that pipe at about, probably on averages, 300, 400, 500 degrees. And there's quite a whole heap of it, because that pipe there, it's like about 26 mil diameter, right? So that's why, someone come up with that plate with a 7 mil hole many years ago, and it's sort of balanced out that if all the rest of your Egr system's working normal and correctly, basically it's engineered well to reduce the flow. The Egr system still works, still gets a bit of exhaust gases coming through to cool the combustion and do its job, is what we believe, but not too much. This is a bit over-engineered, if it's caking up like that, and it's probably only going to get better, we believe it's a bit over-engineered, not a good idea. You need to take the hot exhaust gases, or any hot gases, however you want to make them, from somewhere clean. Like if you had a DPF filter on the later engines, you could easily just take that exhaust gas, that heat from after the DPF, and it'd be nice and clean. So, of course they would do that, wouldn't they? No, they don't. The later vehicles that have got a DPF, they still take the exhaust gases from before the DPF and feed this dirty black soot into your engine. And of course it's got a bigger pipe because they need to meet stricter emissions, and it's a different system though. Maybe they're going to cake up worse, maybe they're going to be not as bad, we don't know, but there's solutions for that as well. Right, so your exhaust gases are coming through this cooler, and that's where they, right there at that valve at the bottom there, that's what opens up. That's why, if you can see it this side, see at this end here, right? So there's a bit of oil there. The further you go back this way, like the bit of pipe that goes on, here, and the intercooler on a 120 or a Hilux, or the bit of pipe that goes here, it's very clean, and you can usually put your finger in it, and you hardly get any oil on your finger. Be careful doing that though, because the machine edges can be sharp and you'll slice your finger open. You can take that pipe off quite easily by undoing these two bolts and a couple of clamps to that hose there, and you can take this section of pipe off here and have a look for yourself. But you might look in there and think it's not too bad. That's what happens for a lot of people. But once you get the throttle body off and look in there, you're going to go, well, look, it's not too bad. but it's not too good either, is it? So here we are, removing that wiring loom we talked about so that we can get into this upside down bolt. One of the upside down bolts, I'll just show you in this video, right? I'll just show you a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to get a bit sideways. Where is it? Oh, it's right. See, it's already been taken out. See that one middle of the picture now? Right? That's what you're chasing over the other side to get to the other one. You can't get to it from this side. Well, you probably can, but it'd be super difficult. You need to get around that side, so you need to get that wiring loom. You need to be able to lift it up so you're not stressing those injector wires at all. The loom's pretty strong, although I recommend people are careful of it. Don't be bending it back and forth too much. Like all wires, they will, fatigue. So best to keep them as straight as possible. These little wires, do not yank on those wires, plugs and wiggle and whatever. You just need to keep it all nice and happy. Anyway, guys, hopefully that's been helpful and you understand your EGR and your crankcase ventilation system, totally separate systems. The catch can is no solution for the EGR soot problem. People go and get the thing switched off, shut off. It's up to you if you want to do that. We think the plate's a good balance, but it's up to you guys. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, like I said, please subscribe, turn the bell on, and give us a like. Press the thumbs up if you like the information in that video. And yeah, in the comments, I hope you understand. Please comment. Have already what your solution is. Have you already done it or not? And I just want to answer that question again. Do you need an Egr Clean? Well, you don't need one, but I'll tell you what. In my opinion, you damn well want one, and you'd want a solution in place. And when? The sooner the better. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We don't do Egr Cleans anymore, but we've got plenty of 4x4 diesel workshop partners that do. So if you do want to get this job done, please make contact in a text message with your name, vehicle details, what suburb you're in, and I'll direct you to our 4x4 diesel workshop partner that can help you out. Thanks for watching. See you guys.